What's the secret to happiness? Dang, that's a big question. And before you watch the next 2 minutes, I don't know the answer. I mean, I have happiness, have moments of it for sure. Some, maybe you call it chapters of happiness, some days, some happenings of happiness. But what's the secret to being more happy more often? That's a $1 zillion question, isn't it? I'm just gonna ramble just for a few seconds here about some thoughts, and I'll be the first to say these are very subjective. You know, they're very much based on my own life experience and my own ups and downs, and my own having of happiness in certain circumstances. So what's the secret to happiness? I do know that having a clear conscience really helps with a level of joy, with a level of happiness. And I think a clear conscience, for me at least, it comes from feeling good about my walk with God, you know, my relationship with God. And that doesn't mean I'm always doing everything right, by no means. It's kind of opposite. A clear conscience is not because you're doing everything right. It's because you know God cares about you and loves you and forgives you and understands your struggles and doesn't excuse when you're being a jerk or an asshole or you done something bad to others or yourself. I don't think God excuses that, but I think He walks us through that, and He turns our hearts to have some remorse, some good guilt, but then some freedom to go, hey, God's squashed it. God's done with it. God's forgiven it. You know, that's the beautiful message of Christ. Whatever you think about that message, it's got beauty at its core, because it's saying God cares enough to make sure we're forgiven and to make sure we know we're forgiven. And happiness in large part comes from feeling okay about yourself. And that means feeling okay about how God sees you. And that's where God's love and forgiveness, and that's where Christ and the cross, and you know, a resurrection, a new life, a new chapter coming out of a bad chapter. I mean, that's the entire Christ message that I love, that really helps with happiness. There's some other really practical things. I think happiness comes from good relationships. And if there's anything I've learned about good relationships, it's to receive good from relationships. It's important to put off good, to put off care, to put off, you know, some form of sacrifice, to put off positivity, you know, good vibes in people's lives, sincere, good, genuine, caring stuff. You put that off in your relationships, and it oftentimes comes back to you. That's how God made things, and it really works well. Putting off good a lot of the time brings back good in relationships. And I know healthy, good, fun, foundational, you can lean on kind of relationships, those bring happiness. Also, my last thought, doing stuff you enjoy. And I don't know if it's the Western work ethic or even an old Puritan ethos that we inherited in this country, but there's something about feeling almost guilty for having too much fun, or feeling almost guilty for doing too many things that you enjoy. Hold on, let me switch hands here. When these get past 3 minutes, my arm gets too tired to hold this up. But yeah, like enjoyable stuff. And what's important to know about that is that enjoyable stuff is different for every human, right? I mean, I'm out here, I got this big giant hat on, and you can see I'm starting to sweat real good. I'm out here in the hot Texas sun. It's about 100 degrees right now, walking my dear dog Rhett, but we're out here baking in this sun right midday. But I do it because I enjoy it. I'm not doing it because I have to, honestly. I'm not even doing it for exercise, though it is good exercise. It's therapeutic exercise to me. But I enjoy it. And so taking time and making a priority of things we enjoy, that is definitely equal to happiness. And I just had one more hit me. I said that last one was the last one, but sorry, one more quick one. A lot of times there's a hinge point of happiness in our life. And here's what I mean. we might have some kind of habit or some kind of routine we're caught up in that's bringing unhappiness. And I've seen this with a lot of people I've had the chance to befriend and to love on, that there's one key thing that is really impeding most of their happiness. And identifying that one key thing, it can be certain eating habits that leave you sluggish, and you're kind of feeling enslaved to them because you go to them for comfort, you go to them for relaxation, you go to them for enjoyment per se. Like I've been this person that turned to certain binge, sugar, fatty, just hard on the body eating for joy, and it actually was impeding joy because of the way it left my system feeling just a few minutes after I got the rush, I got the dopamine high of it. Then for the next bunch of hours, I just didn't feel good. And there are innumerable things in this world that immediately when you try to make use of them, they hit the pleasure button. But the fallout is horrendous, and it rips away, it sucks out the joy. So the hinge item in your life, addressing that hinge item that's sucking out joy, a lot of times that is a domino effect or a waterfall effect to bring a lot more joy in a lot more categories if you deal with the hinge item. So you might have one of those. You might have one habit or one certain rhythm that's killing your joy, and to deal with that really, really helps. Okay, there's some thoughts on The Secrets to Happiness by James Patrick Miller. You can throw this out, that's for sure. But maybe there's some good stuff in here. I appreciate you, friends. I value friendship deeply. So if we're friends, or if we're not, I hope we will be friends someday. Oh, I'm sweating so bad, it's coming down my lips here. This is a hot day. I thought we were done with hot, but it's still August. August what, 16? It's still the middle of August. No wonder it's so flipping hot out here. Anyway, friends, I appreciate you. If we're not friends, man, maybe we'll meet. I'd love to be friends. And I wish good on you, I really do. Peace, love, queso, and I'll ramble again at you soon. Can you say goodbye, Rhett? Goodbye, y'all. It's my best Rhett voice. All right, bye.